What's happening, guys? Dready here, back with another video. So this video was supposed to come out a few weeks ago, but you know, wedding season. So I thought I would talk about wedding season, give 3 top tips to photographers getting into the wedding industry and 3 top tips for people that are looking for a wedding photographer and what to look out for. What's happening, guys? Thank you again for clicking on the video, liking and subscribing and all that jazz. Let's just get all those things out of the way and said. So yeah, today I want to talk about wedding season photographers and what wedding season is like in comparison to the rest of the year. So I've been obviously doing this for many years, nigh on 10 years at this point, and I'm very lucky to have a variety of different jobs, starting in nightclubs, then going into doing studio work, and finally landed in doing a lot of weddings. I freelance for a few different Asian wedding companies, as well as taking on my own clients. But this year has been exceptionally mental. My wife and son have gone to Poland for the month because they're not going to see me. This wedding season has been so absolutely busy. I normally say wedding season feels like we're in a long distance relationship, even though we're in the same house. But this year has been especially mental. Today, I want to be giving some advice from my many years of being in the wedding industry for people that are trying to get into the wedding industry, as well as people that are looking for wedding photographers to cover their big day. Yeah, I totally forgot to turn that light on. So yeah, let's get into it. The first 3 top tips for wedding photographers getting into the wedding industry. Number 1. The number 1 top tip for wedding photographers trying to get into this wedding industry is take your time and use your availability to your advantage. People that have been in the wedding industry for a long time just cannot compete with people that are getting into the wedding industry because we're not able to charge that competitively. If you're charging at a very low price, my first wedding, I think I even charged at £150. Just charge at that kind of level for the longest time and get as much experience as possible. Obviously, the big photographers can't compete with that, but you can still provide a really nice service for people that are looking for that budget option. So play within that field, advertise, find your friends, your family, any weddings, anything wedding related. Just go for it. Don't worry about the actual price that you're earning. And just fill your dates, build up that good reputation as being that affordable, friendly photographer, and get out there and start shooting. And then we're going to lead into tip number 2. This is about second shooting. So yes, even today, like I say, I second shoot for other wedding photography companies and they keep my dates very busy. Of course, I'm able to earn more when it's my own booking, but this is a great opportunity for us to go on to the job, shoot and do what we love and not have to deal with the editing. So second shooting is a really good way of getting into the industry. And the main thing that most new photographers don't realize is even if you're second shooting for a company, that company still needs to allocate time and resources into organizing you, making sure you're there on time, making sure they're editing your work to a satisfactory standard that can be delivered. So just focus on being able to provide as much value to the companies that you're freelancing as possible. So don't worry about, oh, I need the photos for my own portfolio. Go out there, get shooting, and just create lots of value for these companies. So yeah, just focus on helping the companies that you're freelancing for, that you're second shooting for, build their business, and in turn, they will help you build your business as well. You need to focus on helping provide resource to the companies that you work for. Now, one huge example and a learning point most photographers need to learn is that when you're working on behalf of a client, you're not your own business. You need to promote the company that you're working for. So if anyone on any wedding that I work on comes up to me and says, Ed, I really like your work. What's your business card? What's your website? I will never, ever share my own portfolio and my own website. You need to share the business that you're working for, help them grow, and in turn, they will help you grow. So next is top tip number 3. This is a huge thing, finding your own niche. Within wedding photography, there's lots of different kinds of niches. You will find that if you go onto photographers' portfolios and websites, 90% of them say they will document your wedding day in a truthful, documentary style, allowing it to happen as it happens. Now, that's not the only way of shooting a wedding, but you'll find that 90% of the photographers promote themselves as that because they think that's what the clients want. There's more than one kind of wedding client, guys, right? You could be an alternative wedding photographer. So shooting darker colors, specializing in making things look more dramatic in that way. You can be like a fine art fashion photographer. So using flash and lots of black and whites, and making your portfolio look like that. Of course, there's documentary style, trying to get candids or what have you, but there's so many different types of photographer. You don't all have to be promoting yourselves as the same way. And if you try and encapsulate every kind of client within the wedding industry, you'll promote to none, okay? So myself, I come from the Asian market, where we make things look dramatic and larger than life. We are about making things look perfect and stylized and fine art. And I believe that's not what most British photographers promote themselves as. A lot of people are afraid of being in front of the camera, so you need to help them be at ease. My approach to this is I'm more than happy to be the class clown, to be the center of attention, to help everyone to realize they can relax and enjoy their wedding day. Wedding photography can very often feel like going to the dentist or having a work photo that you didn't know was going to happen until the last minute. So I like to help people feel at ease and realize that it doesn't have to be a serious formal affair. We can have fun. It can be ridiculous and silly at times, but we're still going to come out with some amazing work. There's so much diversity in photography, which is why I love it so much. Now we're swapping gears. If you are looking to hire a wedding photographer, here's 3 top tips to help you find the photographer that you are going to gel with, that excites you, that will be perfect for your wedding day. Okay, top tip number 1, obviously look at the portfolio of your wedding photographer, but what I would argue is more important is how you gel with them. So make sure you meet with them beforehand, have a good extended prolonged discussion with how your wedding day is going to look, what's important for them to capture for you. And if a photographer offers a wedding collection that has a pre-couple shoot in, it's not just about the photos. You will come back and thank me once you've had a pre-couple shoot with your photographer. You've got to know their process and how it's going to go. And then on your wedding day, that's one last thing to worry about. Plus, you've already got some amazing images from them. So yes, I would heavily suggest if your photographer offers a pre-couple shoot, go for that. Take every opportunity to get to know your wedding photographer, because beyond your immediate family and friends, most of your day is going to be with your photographer. So get to know them, really make sure you gel with them and they speak to the kind of things that you find important and common interests. If you're both into football, if you're both into music, if you're both into anything, it will help gel and make the whole day run so much smoother. Top tip number 2, if you're actually looking for a photographer for your wedding day, is prices. You got to work within your budget, but understanding different prices and what you're likely going to be getting is a huge factor, because the prices will tell you at what stage of that photographer's business and how much of their life actually goes into their photography. So if you're looking for a budget option, yes, you can find photographers for $500 up to £1,000, okay? These are people that are probably fresh out of uni, bought their first camera, got a few lenses, and have a somewhat of experience, 1 or 2 years of experience in the wedding photography industry. So if that is your budget, you can find photographers at this price, and it's absolutely fine. I'm not deterring you away from people at that price point, but just know these are going to be people that do not have as much experience, that do not have the things in order of their business. Very often you'll find they're either students or they've got a day job and they do weddings on the weekend at this price. It's not the professional standard that you're going to be finding at this price point. Price point number 2 is anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. These people have been in the industry, they've already built their business, and they're pricing themselves accordingly. These people will absolutely know what needs to be done at any point of the wedding day. They'll have their contracts, they'll have their insurance in place, and they're most likely going to be doing wedding photography and be in this industry full time. So this is probably where I would suggest look at if you are wanting a pretty decent photographer. If Lots of other things on your wedding day are expensive. If you spent a lot of money on the dress, on the venue, on the decor, then this is the price point where you're going to guarantee some really great images and someone with a lot of experience. And the higher end, 2,500 upwards, is where the higher end wedding photographers come from. These people will most likely be exclusively servicing a certain amount of clients per year so they can keep their quality really, really high. These people will probably have all the bells and whistles added onto their collections, like wedding albums, pre-couple shoots, all those kind of things, extra editing, extra prints. But these people are the top end of the industry, servicing really, really good-looking, beautiful clients in beautiful locations, most likely working abroad. But these kind of people will only exclusively do a certain amount of weddings. Those are the general price bands you're going to be looking at, because eating at McDonald's at that price is not the same as eating at a 5-star Michelin restaurant. There is differences in the product. You might still be fed, it might still get the job done, but you're not going to be receiving the same product. Now, the only other thing that I would stress so much that people just don't get, the biggest factor beyond who you choose for your wedding photographer and the prices is time. Make sure you plan your wedding day and make sure there is enough time that is non-negotiable to get those wedding photos. You're paying for a photographer to capture your day, make it look amazing. You've paid for the decor, you paid for your outfit, the makeup, you need it captured properly, and you're spending good money to do so. So give them enough time to be able to do their job. At the end of the day, with my own clients, I always say to them, I can get some brilliant photos in 20 minutes, but to guarantee my quality of work, I need 45 minutes to an hour, and we can focus and create some amazing photos. No matter who you choose for your wedding day, just make sure that's a non-negotiable. Those are your memories that are going to last forever. Those are the photos that you're going to put on your mantelpiece, and those are the photos you're going to show your kids in years to come. So don't regret missing out and putting more time to that. So yeah, money, but time as well. And here we go, talking about number 3, types of photographer. So there's not just one kind of photographer. There are the individual photographers that build their entire business about shooting completely on their own. There are husband and wife photographer teams that will maybe do photos and video at the same day. And there are types of companies that are more like McDonald's that will farm out all the work to lots of different freelancers. Now, what you need to make sure is you've got the guy, all right? Don't settle for hiring a company that they're going to hire out freelancers to random people that they probably don't work with on a continuous basis. You're spending money for a product, a style, so make sure you've got the guy. This point is harder to ascertain than the points before, because your wedding photographer might do 10 weddings a year, but they might do 50 plus. If they're doing 50 plus, they're not doing it alone, they're farming it out to other people. And really, you got to hope they've got their internal team that works with all of their projects to hold the same quality level of standard. You know what I mean? Really make sure you get to know your photographer, find out their turnaround, their process, their style, and really invest time on the actual wedding day to get the images that you're going to be looking back for years to come. Okay, that was a hell of a lot of talking. I'm just coming out of wedding season myself. I myself freelance, like I say, for loads of different companies. I've barely had a day off this year, creating amazing photos and meeting amazing clients. I'm in a really lucky position because I work for these companies. They keep my dates so busy, and I can aim for my 10 weddings a year. That is the level I feel comfortable to be able to provide the quality of work my clients are paying for. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you to all the clients that have booked me, and thank you for all the clients that I'm going to be working with in the next year. I've already got a couple in 2026, which is absolutely mental. But yes, the rest of this video, we are going to go back to the behind the scenes kind of style. This is just a labor of love and something that I enjoy doing, and to be able to engage with people and tell people about the things that excite me. So please like and subscribe, tick that notification bell and all that jazz, and comment. It will help in the algorithm. I'm not a very good YouTuber, but I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the second part of this video. Peace. What's happening, guys? Welcome to the janky filming footage of the behind the scenes stuff that we film on the Sony camera while we're working. This job was for Godiva Battlegrounds. We've got Ryan, there taking some photos, and we've got Hazib in the background on his phone. This is our first opportunity really using the LensGo smoke machine, handheld smoke machine. It worked pretty well, apart from the fact it ran out of battery power within the first minute and a half of use. So yeah, that's going back to Amazon, but look, it's cool. I'm totally into these handheld smoke machines. So yeah, as I say, this job was for Godiva Battlegrounds. We're running comms so we can communicate as we go along as well. This was over in Rugby, and this is us setting up. So we ran a 3-camera setup for this. You can see the C70 in the background there. We got Hazib's 1DX Mark II with 16mm on the gimbal for the entrances, and Ryan's just telling him the process of how it's going to go. Ryan was lead photographer on this one. He was making sure he's capturing each fight, making sure they've got the winning photo at the end. And yeah, Hazib was second backup. We got the C70 as a backup wide, and the 1DX Mark II on the gimbal. It's just to catch up audience, catch a secondary angle, and be able to move around wherever we needed him to. So yep, this was at Ben Hall over in Rugby, getting the establishing shots outside, surprising Ryan with the camera. He loves it. And this is the setup from the back of the room, but we were running the time code. So this is the 32-bit float time code recorder from Tentacle Sync, just plugged into the system. So we've got a clean audio of the announcer, run by Mr. Aaron. Godiva Boxing Battlegrounds. But here we go, the announcer getting ready for the first announcement. And here's the audience. Yeah, like I say, because of the space of the room, it's hard to get tables in there, so it's hard to sell the higher selling tickets. But this is my setup. I had my handle for the Ronin on the side, and that's what the Tentacle Sync was strapped to. So we're getting the time code audio straight into the camera, so it will match up with the other cameras. Unfortunately, I was using 2470. I would have liked to have a lens with image stabilization as well, because a lot of it was handheld. So as a little added extra, I had my little music video lights. Eventually they work. And so we were flashing red and blue when each fighter from the red corner or the blue corner were coming out. So I filmed a little bit of one of the fights. I was kind of having to multitask and film with the camera as well as my my behind the scenes camera. It's a white collar. Some of the fights were actually quite good though. And yeah, we have to obviously stay in the corner, out of the way of the audience to be seeing. And we're on comms, so we're chatting all the way through between me, Ryan, and Hazib. 3-man job on this one. You see Hazib in the corner on the gimbal, and Ryan taking photos on the left. And we're chatting on comms. You can't hear what he's saying, but we're waiting for the next one to come out. There was 15 fights on this one, so it wasn't a crazy long event. And this is the pack up. Everyone's very quick to get out. Many bags of equipment for our setup. And yeah, it was a late night. Always ends later than expected. This is for Cocktail Week in Coventry, working for Mad Agency. So we had 30 different restaurants to be photographing their cocktails in. And between Ryan and myself, we're capturing everything. So my task was to get one main photo of each cocktail drink. I always got to try and make it a bit creative. Here we go, using the dry ice option of the smoke machine there. And Ryan was just getting behind the scenes stuff and the cocktails actually being made. So this red light means it's run out of power. So between every single venue, we had to charge it to get it working. Yeah, it's going back to Amazon. Told you it is. So yeah, I might end up buying another one of these further down the line and see if the battery life works a bit better. But for now, it's a failed product. It does a cool effect, but yeah. So here's Mantas making us a drink. This one's the Coventry Telegraph building. We tried to use smoke where applicable and where we're not going to be setting off the alarms. But some of the photos actually turned out really good. I'm probably going to overlay a few of the images as we're shooting each one, so you can see what the final product looked like. This is a Lithuanian girl, of course.
I know it's Lithuanians. So yeah, this is in the center of town. This one's the Cozy Club. Oh, I loved this photo. Just the light coming back through the drink, the very high key look of the actual mojito, as well as the table, as well as all the light. I think this one came together amazingly. So yeah, it was a long day. It ended up being like a 12-hour day between all the venues. Beautiful day, nice and sunny. And this is the Boom Battle Bar. Some of these drinks were very, very sweet. Very, very sweet. This was one of them. We had a sip of each one, but we had so many venues, we didn't want to get drunk. And just trying to find creative spots in the venues to show a bit of the vibe of the space as well as the actual drink. Really wasn't part of the brief. We could have done such a basic job, but we really wanted to try and make it look special.